Carolina Zoo. So I am really excited to be here with you today. Our program is Amazing Adaptations, but we're going to focus on incredible invertebrates. So typically with virtual programs, you guys have the choice to use the chat to ask me questions, and we're going to be asking you guys questions as well. We want to try to keep this program as interactive as we possibly can, even though it is virtual. So I want everybody to close your eyes for a minute. Just close your eyes and imagine that you're transforming into a bird. Just think about that for a few seconds. What is changing? What are you gaining? What are you losing? And I will wait patiently for you to use the chat to tell me what is changing. What about your body is changing? You are transforming. Transforming. Let me get that chat up so I can see if anybody's commented yet. I'm going to do the awkward dance while you guys get a chance to answer because I have trouble staying still. Morning, Nora James. Let's see, shall we help them out a little bit, Brittany? I forgot to mention I have a helper with me today. How about you get on camera and say hello?
Hi everybody, I'm Brittany. I'm also an educator here at the North Carolina Zoo.
Awesome. Do you think we stumped them, Brittany? Seems like it. So I'll help you guys out. Whenever I'm transforming into a bird, I have noticed that I have gained wings. Yeah, so I've lost my arms and my hands, and I have wings now. And those wings have feathers on them. But guess what I can do? I'm imagining that I have transformed into an eagle. So I can fly. I can fly with those wings very high up into the sky. Let's see, what else am I gaining? I think I have very good eyesight now. I can see really well. Oh, you know what's cool? I got rid of my feet, and I now have talons with very sharp claws on them so that I can grasp prey and eat it. Something cool. I'm also gaining a beak. I'm losing my nose and I'm gaining a beak. So everything that I have got and lost and gained, that's an example of an adaptation. So now you know what that really big fancy word means. It's basically the things that an animal has to be able to survive in its habitat. It's just like how elephants have really thick skin, or giraffes have really long purple tongues. All of those are examples of adaptations. So today we're going to be focusing on incredible invertebrates, is what I like to call it. Now, what is an invertebrate? Does anybody have an idea? Would you like to use the chat real quick to tell me? What is an invertebrate? A fancy science word for you. Do the awkward dance again. Give you a few more seconds to think about that, then I'll let you know what an invertebrate is. Hey, Brittany, I think we stumped them again. That's okay, though. You guys are here to learn. Everybody take your hand and feel this back here. What is this? So this is your spine. Invertebrates don't have a spine. So I know what you're thinking. How would an animal be able to survive without a spine or any bones? You know, invertebrates don't really have bones like we do. So how would they survive without bones? So invertebrates specifically have what is called an exoskeleton. Exo means outside, and you know what skeleton means. So they basically have an outside skeleton, which is really cool. Let's see that chat again. I think somebody's... Yeah, good job, Alyssa. You said no backbone. That is exactly what I was looking for. Good job. So no backbone. Invertebrates is basically insects, crustaceans. I think that covers it, right, Brittany? Insects and crustaceans, invertebrates. But wait, there's other invertebrates out there, but they don't have exoskeletons and stuff. It gets confusing, right? So jellyfish, they're very squishy. They don't have any bones. They don't even have a brain, which is wild to me. Like, how does something survive without a brain? They just kind of float around in the water. But yet, jellyfish sting you with their tentacles? How is that? That is an answer that I don't even know. I have to admit that. They just float around in the ocean and sting things. So I keep talking about all these adaptations. Who's ready to meet some incredible invertebrates today? I mean, that's what you guys are here for, right? You're here to see the animals. So who should we get started with, Brittany?
Well, let's go with box number 1.
Ooh, so this box here? Yeah. That's right, we do have live creepy crawlies with us. I hope you guys like creepy crawlies because I do. Oh, I have to tell you, this one is a creepy crawly. How many of you like cockroaches? I'm going to put my gloves on because guess what? The cockroaches that I'm going to get out have little stickies on their legs, meaning they're kind of sharp, and I don't want to get sharp stickies on my hands. I don't want them kicking me. So they do that as a defense mechanism, and I haven't got used to that feeling yet, so I'm going to be using some gloves. That one glove ripped, so. I'm going to adjust the camera real quick because I am very short, so that you guys can see a little better. Look at this. This is a giant Madagascar hissing cockroach. Oh, it's the thing of nightmares. Just get a good look at it. So I bet you guys are wondering, why on earth am I holding a cockroach, let alone one this big, right? Well, these cockroaches are not like the pest cockroaches that we have, locally that get in your house and get in your food. These are actually good. These are good cockroaches. So I said Madagascar hissing cockroach. They are from Madagascar, but they're very important in Madagascar. They're what we like to call detritivores. That's a fancy science word for you. I know I am throwing all kinds of science words at you guys, and you're out of school for the summer. But guess what? I'm throwing some really cool facts at you today. So that basically means that they feed on leaf litter that is decaying on the ground at Madagascar, in Madagascar. And the reason why they're so important is they provide, basically other things rely on them for a food source. So when we're talking about adaptations, you can clearly see that exoskeleton, but you can look closely and you see these little dots here? Those are called sphericals. And earlier I said hissing cockroach. That is true. These things hiss when they are threatened. But they hiss not by blowing air out of their mouth, but they blow the air through those sphericals. That's what we like to call a behavioral adaptation. Pretty cool. You can kind of see these little bumps on this one's head. That's how we determine which one is a male and which one is a female. The males have bigger bumps on their heads. See if I can get a pretty good camera angle so that you can see everything. And remember those sticky legs I was talking about that were kind of irritating? That's an adaptation as well. That's basically if anything tries to pick them up, they can kick it, and it's uncomfortable for whatever is trying to pick them up. So here at the zoo, we have a whole colony of these. A whole colony. Actually, we have two separate colonies, Colony A and Colony B. So we have a lot of Madagascar hissing cockroaches. And guess what? We have lots of babies in there too. It's kind of like when I open the case, they all scatter. It's like nightmares. But they're, yeah, kind of cool nightmares. I kind of like the creepy stuff. You can see that beautiful coloration. So these cockroaches, they're not going to come out during the day as much. They're more active at night, and they tend to stay in caves and stuff like that. They use these antennae to be able to find their way around just like a cat or a dog. Because I can't remember, Brittany, do you remember if they have very good eyesight? We don't think they do because they don't really need to have very good eyesight since they are active at night and in caves most of the time. Do you think I missed anything, Brittany, about the Madagascar hissing cockroach? You can kind of see its head there.
I don't think so. Do you think they have any questions about him or her?
You know, that's a good idea. I'm going to open the chat up for questions about the Madagascar hissing cockroach. So do you guys have any questions about this thing? Oh, you can get a really good shot of its back. Also, feel free to shoot me questions during this live broadcast. We will answer any questions. It doesn't have to be just about the hissing cockroach. We've got 2 other friends that we're going to bring out to show you guys. And guess what? They are all creepy crawlies. Get some good shots of my Madagascar hissing cockroach. Does anybody want to name this one? He doesn't have a name.
Looks like he's doing acrobatics too.
Alyssa Katie says, how does the air go through the sphericals to make it hiss? Huh, so that is a very, very good question. So it doesn't have to be moving for it to happen. But they basically, you know what? I may have to Google that question. I don't know how it goes through the sphericals. Do you, Brittany?
I think it's like an exhale.
Like an exhale, like what we do?
Sort of. Maybe an inhale.
Their bodies kind of swell up and then squeeze out that air. I do know that.
Because it does happen whenever they get kind of scared or threatened. So
it's like a gas.
Yeah,
in a way.
Like it builds up and then once they just kind of like comes out. So
well, that's really neat. I learned something new.
Yeah. And then, you know, if I'm a predator trying to eat it and something does that to me, I'm probably just gonna leave it alone. So,
yeah. And honestly, it is a little startling when they hiss at us when we go to pick them up. So what we do is we try our best to pick the ones that don't hiss as much because we don't want to stress our animals out here at the North Carolina Zoo. Every animal that we put on these programs have a choice to come to these programs. So if something's kicking us and hissing at us, we don't choose that cockroach because it doesn't want to go.
And if it gets too stressed out, then he has to go to the vet.
Yep.
And these critters also get vet care, so
they do get vet care. That's what's shocking is you guys may think, oh, it's a cockroach, but these Madagascar hissers here at the zoo, they also get vet care. If they seem like they're having issues, we have a vet on site that comes to check them out, which is wild. So our bugs have a vet. That's pretty cool. So I think we can move on to our next creepy crawly, Brittany.
Sure. Box number 2.
Huh?
What is in box number 2?
Box number 2, I believe, is something long with a bunch of legs. I'm going to leave it to you guys to guess what creature we're bringing out next. And I'm going to get some better shots of this cockroach on camera while she's getting our next friend out. Ooh, Alyssa Katie guessed centipede. Ooh, so that is very close to what we're bringing out next. Mm-hmm. Alyssa Katie has guessed spider. Ooh, so we're saving the best for last, obviously. But this one is not a spider. but there will be a spider. Alyssa, Katie got it with the answer millipede. Yay, give yourself a pat on the back, Alyssa. So I'm going to put our cockroach away, and I'm going to help Brittany get set up for the millipede real quick. There you go, buddy. And I'm going to show you the container the cockroaches are in real quick. I've got 2 in here just in case one of them decided not to want a program. I've got a male and a female in here. I showed you guys the male. The female doesn't have any horns, or it has reduced horns. And that's basically an adaptation for when males like to spar and fight over territory. All right, Brittany. Yep. All right.
So, with that being said, so like Mindy said, it's kind of long. This is an African giant millipede. I know someone said centipedes, which are like really cool too, but I don't. They're quite venomous, so I don't really. I don't think I'd be holding a centipede, but this is a millipede. And as you can see, sort of, she's trying to feel her way around with those little antennae there. That's what's moving on the front. As you can see on the back, though, she's got these tiny little feet.
Oh, wow, that's such a good shot.
Yep.
So, Brittany, you said this was an African giant millipede. So, they are native to Africa, and I think they get bigger than that.
Probably.
There you go. And I'm here to help if she gets a bit, or he or she, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but if it gets a little wiggly for you.
Well, they are kind of long.
Yeah.
With that being said, well, let's do this. Okay, so that's my hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually both my hands and part of Mindy's.
Yep, part of mine.
So that's how long she is. And like I said, she has those little tiny feet. They can have up to 300 to 400 legs. Not sure how many this one has.
Yeah, we're not going to count them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not thinking of us have time for that today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. They do have an exoskeleton, like Mindy was saying. And it's kind of neat because she's kind of feeling her way towards my other hand.
And she has to feel her way because she doesn't have very good eyesight either.
No, not at all.
They can only see like night and day cycles. Like they can see light and dark, and that is it. Because they don't really need to be able to see. They kind of burrow under the leaf litter and under the soil.
And I know Mindy said these are creepy crawlies, speaking of soil, but they actually they're not going to bite. They can't bite. These can't.
They have some mouth parts, but not really anything like a centipede.
Sorry, let's get you a range here.
Yeah, let's readjust.
Okay, there we go. She's definitely more comfortable now. She's not rolling up like a little roly-poly. So whenever she gets kind of scared, whenever I went in to pick her up, they kind of roll up into
a little ball.
Yeah, like cinnamon roll shaped.
That's a good comparison.
I guess to sort of say there. But, as I was saying, we know that they seem creepy, but they don't actually eat anything carnivorous unless it's already decaying, which in a sense we do need because, well, they're nature's cleanup crew. They're part of it.
Remember Detritivores? I taught you that word a few minutes ago. They feed on the leaf litter, and when they use the bathroom, they kind of recycle that out, and it replenishes the nutrients in the soil. So they're really good to have around. We do have millipedes in North Carolina. If you guys are from North Carolina, I'm sure you've seen them. We probably have lots of people watching globally, though, so we want to keep it all inclusive. Our millipedes are probably about that big. That's roughly an inch.
Yeah, so look how big she is right there.
Yep.
I wish my hands were a little bigger for her, though, for him.
I
whichever.
know.
That's a vet question, though, if it's a boy or a girl. But yeah, there we go. That's a good shot.
Yeah, good comparison. And me and Brittany both have small hands. I think these can get up to about 1 foot long.
Yeah, we might need more hands for those.
We'll need 4 hands for those. Well, I mean, we could turn into a millipede, right? And have
Good.
more legs, but instead of legs, we could have more arms.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to hold them. Let's see, what other adaptations do they have? So you notice that Brittany is wearing gloves, and I stuck a glove on as well. So they're not venomous like centipedes. So, you know, centipedes are venomous. They have those 2 things on their face, and, you know, they're predators. They're carnivores. Millipedes do this thing to where they secrete a toxin from its skin when it feels threatened. And that toxin can be irritating to some things, and it can taste nasty. And the reason why we're wearing gloves is we could be allergic to whatever it secretes. If it were to get stressed here and secrete that toxin, we want to protect ourselves as well. So that is why we are wearing gloves to handle this.
Plus, if I had hand sanitizer on, I don't know if we want to get it all over their little feet.
Yeah, that is true. What we consider clean may not be clean to any of the animals that we're holding.
He or she may just be just fine, but still, we don't. It's a huge risk, and we don't want to do that. Which, by the way, I am wearing hand sanitizer, so gloves are good.
Yeah, especially when you work outside, you need hand sanitizer.
Yeah, but this little one doesn't. So.
Yep. And you can see the antennae, that's how they feel around, just like the cockroaches. That's a unique adaptation that they have to be able to find out more about what habitat they're in. That's how they find their food, their homes.
All right, let me readjust her.
She's going up the arm, and we don't want to do that.
I'm sorry, little one. Sorry. There we go. Okay. See, she kind of rolled up on me there for a minute.
Yeah.
It's usually not how we pick them up. It doesn't hurt her, but still, I don't want her to be uncomfortable and scared. But at the same time, I want her to be safe and kind of coddled, I guess, in my hands.
Yeah.
But he or she is really wanting to explore now, so. Yeah.
So I think what we can do now is leave the chat open for any questions about the millipede.
Let's get you a close up there, sweetie.
Yeah, look at that face. They're actually kind of cute.
I love the antenna. I think the antenna is cute. It's kind of like one of those rosy things.
So Brittany, how does it feel on your hand?
So it feels like she's trying to hold on, or he.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I can feel like little feet touching me, but it doesn't hurt. It kind of tickles a little, to be honest.
It kind of tickles.
Yeah.
I think it feels really good to hold one of these things.
Yeah. When I first started here with them, it definitely wasn't for the faint of heart. But once you learn a little bit more about them, it's okay. But like I said, centipedes, maybe not. They might not be as calm as this.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't handle a centipede.
No, I mean they're cool, but I don't think I want to hold one of those. Not that brave, but since this one is fine, it's kind of okay.
Yep. So everything has a role in their habitat. The millipede is very good because of that, replenishing the nutrients in the soil. They eat decaying leaf litter.
There we go.
And then when they poop it out, it puts the nutrients back in the soil, which in turn helps things grow. And just like the Madagascar hissing cockroach.
No, you can't get on the camera.
No, believe it or not, they're really good for where they live. They provide food for lots of things in Madagascar. All right, let me get his container.
All right.
We got one crawling up the side here. Yeah. It is snack time. So you guys, I will show you what this one has to eat in here.
Yeah.
So anytime we pack up the millipedes, we like to pack them some food. So they've got a sweet potato here and a regular slice of potato back here. It's just something that they can snack on to stay comfortable for the trip. All right, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. We're going to prepare for our last animal. And Alyssa, I know you guessed it. You guessed correctly. You guessed a tarantula. I'm going to adjust this camera again so that I can talk to you guys while Brittany gets our friend. There we go. It's a little crooked. But you know, accommodating for the animals takes some camera work. All right, now, so we've been discussing adaptations. Tarantulas have lots of cool adaptations. So can you guys think of any kind of adaptation a tarantula would have? Just by looking at a tarantula? I'm going to pull that chat up and check real quick. What about tarantulas having 8 legs? Or arachnids in general having 8 legs? You know, they have 8 legs so that they can go faster. And maybe you're thinking, oh man, I don't like things that move fast. I see something in the chat real quick. Oh, Alyssa, Katie said 8 eyes and fangs and venom. Yes, so those are all 3 adaptations of a tarantula. 8 eyes. But guess what? They have very poor eyesight as well. All of the invertebrates we chose today, for some reason, have really poor eyesight. So she does have 8 eyes, but she can't see very well. So guess what she uses instead? You know, a tarantula's body is covered in all kinds of little hairs. That's how she can see. Now, she can't see like me and you can, but they depend on vibrations. And I'm saying she because we have a tarantula out and it is a she. Her name is Gwen. So, excuse me for doing that. But those hairs, they can feel every vibration on the ground, which is really important. And I know you brought up venom. Yes, tarantulas do have venom. Technically, every spider has venom, just some are stronger than others. So how about we get that tarantula on camera? I know you're waiting on it.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
So I will tell everybody I'm a little biased because Gwen is one of my favorite ones to program with. But this is the lady of the hour, Miss Gwen. So she is a Chilean rose tarantula. And I know that you can't see it at the moment, or maybe you might be able to if she moves in the right light. So the top piece of her, where her legs are moving, has a very like pink sheen to her. Yeah. So that's kind of giving her a rose look to her. Oh wait, there we go. If we turn this way, you can kind of see she's got like a reddish pink tint to her. She's very, very pretty. And then I know this is also a creepy crawly, but she's also very, very big. So let me just readjust with her here.
Readjust. Do you need me to grab a glove to help?
No, I think I got her. There we go.
All right. So lots of camera work for her.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, y'all. All right, so let's get her adjusted. She likes to be up high, so let's do this. Because her little feet are also sensitive too, so that's why I'm also wearing gloves. And I do know that they are venomous. So she's pretty docile, which means she's mostly chill. Thank you, Gwen. I appreciate that. I really do. Um, and their venom is kind of scary, but that's usually their bite is their last resort.
Mhm.
Their first resort is to kick off urticating hairs. And that's where they basically kick off their leg hairs right here. And that's very, very irritating to something that would be chasing her or trying to eat her. So, so it's kind of like a poof of hair going in your face. It's not very fun.
Yeah.
Especially if it's from a tarantula, it's probably a little terrifying as well. So, speaking of her backside there, you can see her little spinnerets.
They do make webs, but they don't make intricate webs like some spiders do. I'm going to grab a picture of some webs real quick and show you guys.
So as she's doing that, I was like, I know we said before, fangs. Well, she won't turn around, but all right. Well, let's go that.
So these are different types of spider webs. This is like your orb weaver spiders here. Down here we have wrong one. This one here is the trapdoor spider. They kind of make a little trapdoor, and whenever a bug crawls by, they launch at it and get it. And then you can see this one has a burrow. That's kind of like what tarantulas do in a way. They kind of live in little burrows, and when they make their webs, it's not like this. It's usually to line the inside of the burrow for insulation. All right, you want to put Gwen on camera? They definitely
Absolutely.
want to see Gwen.
Of course, I want to put Gwen on camera.
Yeah, she is beautiful.
Yeah, I do love Gwen. She's very, very fun to program with. I know a lot of people are a little spooked by them, and that's okay. I was too. However, like I said, once you learn a little bit more about them, they're pretty okay.
Yeah.
Especially her. Now, as I was saying, she does have fangs, of course, but that's mainly for her to eat with. That is her straw, so to speak, because unlike us, they can't take bites. So whenever she does bite down with her fangs, she turns it into a milkshake, so to speak.
I love that.
Yeah, that's what we came up with, and that's the best analogy we had. So her venom actually turns her food into a liquid so she can eat it.
Because they can't digest solid food.
No, and she's not going to eat us or anything or bite us, hopefully. I appreciate that, Gwen. But she usually likes to eat crickets. That seems to be her favorite.
Mm-hmm. You think it's because they're really spastic and she likes to hunt?
Probably.
You know, they're kind of ambush predators. They sit and wait for the food and then get it, right?
Yes. And also with the web, that's more so she doesn't spin it in like a corner of his porch or anything like that. They do make it kind of burrowing, like you said that before. So she uses her web in a sense just to make her home have silky sheets. So,
that's a good analogy.
Yeah, it's for her babies and for herself.
Now, you said urticating hairs.
Mm-hmm.
So urticating hairs, everybody say it with me. Urticating. It's fun to say.
Well, for some of us, yeah.
So basically that means irritating hairs.
Yes.
Like you said before, it kind of irritates the skin a little and the eyes.
Yes. So
Yeah.
if I went to pick her up and she kicked off a poof of hair at me, I'm not going to mess with her. That means she doesn't want to have it today. She's not going today. So that's okay with me.
Now, you said these Chilean rose hairs, they're really docile.
This one is.
This one is.
Yeah. This is one of our animal ambassadors. If you ever encounter one of these in, I think it's Brazil, Argentina, down that way. I can't promise they'd be as friendly, but they are beautiful to look at, though.
So they're mostly bred into the pet trade because of their docile nature. You will see these in pet shops a lot. But you know, before you buy one, do your research because they would have very specific needs.
Yes.
Yeah, they would need a heat source. because they're what we call ectotherms.
No.
That's another science word I'm throwing at you guys. Ecto means outside, and therm means temperature. So they depend on the outside temperature to get their body warmed up enough to where they can hunt and move and be able to digest their food as well. They're kind of like, reptiles and amphibians. They all rely on the outside temperature just to do daily body functions.
Yeah. Since these are from a very tropical area, they're probably going to need a very specialized heat source too.
Yeah, very specialized. Does anybody have any questions about Miss Gwen here? You can kind of see her little spinnerets on the back. That's how she makes her webs.
Oh, I think she has been making one.
She's been making a web on you. How sweet. That means she is comfortable.
Oh, well, she's very, 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 very still here. So, which I'm kind of glad, because that way y'all can see her a little more.
Beautiful.
Yeah. There we go.
You can kind of see the web. That is so cool. I'm glad you guys got to see that today.
And I will say some of, I think one of her feet touched my wrist area one time as I was putting her back, which is fine. But it kind of felt like a little piece of Velcro was sticking to me. So I know you asked about how does it feel last time, but fun fact about that one.
Yeah, and if you guys ever get the chance, look up spider paws. Because they are really cute. They up close, like on the internet, you can see little paw pads like dogs and cats, and they have like these little hooks on the end of them. That's how they can climb up walls and stuff. Really cool.
And they do like to climb up walls.
They do.
This is why I'm kind of holding her like this, like
Yeah.
all hail Queen Gwen.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Now
right.
she's climbing.
That's right. See? Okay.
All
All
right. So how about we put Gwen back in her home?
Okay.
And we will open it up for questions. Yeah. And I'll show you her home on camera so that you can see it as well. Now what Brittany's doing is she's kind of letting Gwen walk off of her hand rather than just throwing her in the container, because we don't want to stress our animals here at North Carolina Zoo. So we're letting her crawl off her hand so that she's comfortable. Yeah, we'll keep that out.
And it's just a little Heidi for her eyes, make her feel comfortable.
And there she is in her home away from home. She does have a bigger enclosure in her at the education animal department. This is just her travel carrier so that we can get her from point A to point B very comfortably. So Brittany showed you her hide. That's something she likes to go into.
It's actually from her house.
It's
her
actually from her permanent home.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's way bigger than this. And then she gets that home service by her keepers. They come and clean it for her.
Yep.
They come and rearrange her furniture for her. And they even deliver her food for her. So she's definitely taken care of here.
She is. How old do you think this one is? We think she's a female because we roughly 10 years old.
Yeah, it's about 7 to 10.
7 to 10 is the range.
I believe she was hatched at the Durham Museum.
Durham Museum?
Life and Science.
Mhm.
I know it's Durham, but she was actually hatched in one of those. And we brought her here for her species survival plan.
Oh, you said species survival plan?
Yep. And then she's been meeting people ever since. Because her parents may have been in an unfortunate situation that was still needed, this could have been anything, but since she needed a home and we had space and would love for her to be an animal ambassador, we brought her here. wonder if you can see her fangs if you turn her around.
Oh, yeah, I do want to show the fangs,
Oh,
if I can.
Okay, well, never mind.
She does have fangs. They're kind of under her.
Oh, sometimes she'll show them. Oh, we'll see.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go.
They're
You can
right
see them
here.
here.
Oh, well, if she'll show them to you.
I think they got a shot of them, though,
Okay.
which is really neat. Now, I said before that they, I think I hinted at molting. No, I don't think I did. I said that they had an exoskeleton. So one adaptation that invertebrates do have is that they're able to molt, and their molts pretty much look like them. It just looks like a spider. I wish I had one to show you, but I kind of forgot one since we were getting animals. But it looks just like the tarantula. And they molt everything. They even molt their fangs, which is really cool.
A bit scary, but cool.
I find it really interesting.
Oh, yeah, same.
I do have a few last minute pictures I would like to show you guys before we go, because I think it's cool. It's the anatomy of a tarantula. So cephalothorax just kind of means, that's the head, that's the thorax. Invertebrates are normally segmented, but spiders in general, arachnids in general, have what we call a cephalothorax. It means head body. And you can see the abdomen over here with the spinnerets. You can see their pedipalps that help them maneuver and hold food down. And you can see their very teeny tiny eyes up there. Remember I said their eyes are very tiny, but they can't really see well, so they sense vibrations through their little hairs. Yeah, really cool. I love tarantulas, but I'm very biased. And here's the bottom of the tarantula. You can kind of see those fangs. And you can see the teeny tiny little mouth there. And I'm sure you're wondering what book lungs are. Well, it is what it sounds like. They have book lungs. It is kind of folded up like a book. Just think of that. So, tarantulas and any spiders, they're important. They are a pest control. Basically, if you see little spiders hanging up in the webs outside your house or in your window, you may see them eating mosquitoes and things. I don't like mosquitoes. I have O positive blood, and for some reason they love it. They love the taste of it. And I leave the spiders hanging up in the web so that they can just decrease those pests. They're really good for us, even the ones that have more powerful venom. Be careful. Always be careful, because, I understand black widows do exist, and the venom can be kind of deadly. So just be careful. Respect from a distance is what I'm going to tell you guys. So that is all the time I have for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed the program and learning about these incredible invertebrates. You got to meet some of our friends here at North Carolina Zoo, and I hope you have a newfound respect for them. I'm going to check the chat real quick because I think somebody has asked me something. Thank you for joining us today. Please join us again for more stories of summer fun. Well, thank you. I would love to do more stories for you guys. I got a lot of thank yous right now. But everybody have a great summer and happy 4th of July. Bye from North Carolina Zoo.